Hello friends, today's topic is my 600-pound life. Let's rant.
What medication are you taking?
I'm on Dilaudid for pain. I'm on Lasix for my swelling. I'm on Ambien. I'm on melatonin. Babe, what else am I on?
Synthroid, Prozac, Bacid, baby aspirin, melatonin.
Okay, that'll do. Got it. Let's get you in wheelchair and get you checked out.
Robert's extensive list of medications raises concerns with Dr. Now, and he starts to think that Robert could actually be addicted to painkillers.
Robert is on far too many painkillers, and if we don't address that issue will likely kill him first. And the fact that he's alive and his body has been able to endure that is truly a miracle. And there are very few people on the planet that could survive all that.
Once he's admitted to the hospital, Dr. Now confronts him straight up about the possible addiction.
So what is with this Dilaudid medicine that you've been hooked on?
Only for the most extreme pain in my leg. Mm-hmm. And I try to take it as least as possible. When I walk or when I do exercises, that really puts pressure on.
Well, I'm very concerned about all the pain medication you own. So I'm admitting you to the hospital to start you on a 1,200 calorie a day diet.
Okay.
But we also are going to cut you off from the painkillers.
Okay.
Because the rate and amount you're taking is going to kill you. So we're going to run some tests and see what is in your system now. And if you take anything more, I'm going to know. But this is going to be a total lifestyle changing for you.
Absolutely. Whatever you think is going to work for me, that's what we're going to do. I want my life back.
Okay, good. Because you look like your body is not going to be able to handle your weight much longer. But let me check your weight now.
Not only does Robert need to recover from his food addiction, dropping his food intake by 90%, but he'll also need to be cut off from painkillers cold turkey. At this point, it's a miracle Robert's even alive, as what he's done to his body probably should have killed him a long time ago. And that's even more significant when Dr. Now finally weighs Robert, discovering he's a lot heavier than what he thought.
You're at 842.
It can't be right, Doc.
So your body is no doubt at its limit. And we need to turn that around fast. So you ready for this, Robert?
Absolutely. You're not going to hear no from me. All you're going to hear is, yes, doctor. That's it.
Then we'll do all we can, as long as you work hard. All right, so you need to get some rest.
With this extreme weight, making him one of the most overweight patients to ever feature on the show, combined with his painkiller addiction, Robert is going to be one of Dr. Now's most challenging patients yet, especially considering what Dr. Now discovers next.
And there are some concerning issues that we are finding. The biggest one being the amount of painkillers he had in his system. It's the highest I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot. And that alone has deteriorated his body significantly. On top of the amount of weight he has on him. But I don't think he even realizes the amount of painkillers he's been taking in. And my big concern right now is the painkillers he's been taking are very strong, and that excess use can cause ulcers that can form a hole that will lead to the stomach acid leaking into the body and can lead to sepsis and then death.
Because of the high amount of painkillers that Robert's been taking, he now has a number of ulcers in his stomach. The good news is that they haven't formed any holes yet, so he doesn't have any infections, but left any longer and Robert probably would have died within a few months. Despite knowing the severity of his situation, Robert struggles with the withdrawals of the pain medication and calls a nurse for some after he does some very light exercise, complaining of pain that he probably just doesn't have.
I mean, it's been years since I've done any kind of try to pull up. I'm going to call for pain meds. Even just doing an exercise hurts.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. It's stuff that you haven't done. You're using muscles you haven't had to use.
I told you he lowered my pain meds from what I was getting.
Yes,
so
that I know. Yeah.
So I'm definitely hurting.
Yeah, that I know.
Robert still struggles with wanting painkillers, but we are continuing to cut him off from that. He doesn't fully realize he has an addiction to them, and eventually he would push his body to such a point that it would give out. So it was very good that we were able to address that when we did. And with the issue under control at the moment, our focus now is on his continued weight loss. And we already have his weight down to 718, which is 124-pound weight loss in 1 month. So his progress is coming along.
Now, it's a very difficult situation because his addictions to both food and painkillers being cut off completely. But there is some good news, as in just 2 months, Robert's lost over 200 pounds from being on the controlled diet. The next step is for Robert to become more mobile, so he can have his lymphedema masses removed and then have weight loss surgery. However, he will need to continue the weight loss on his own as Doctor Now moves him out of the hospital and into a rehab facility. Thankfully, Robert sticks to the diet and continues to lose weight in hospital, getting down to 540 pounds. And Dr. Now is happy with the progress, so he agrees to surgically remove the lymphedema masses on the side of his stomach, which he thinks will weigh an extra 50 pounds.
Today,
That's a tough life. I feel bad. What do you think? Comment down below and thank you for watching.